Okay, welcome to our studio. This is the ceramics department at BayARTS. So I'm going to show you around and you're going to see where everything is. Come on in. We have 10 wheels where people can throw on their potter's wheel. We have a glazing table and a hand building table. So if you come over here, the hand building table is covered in canvas so that your clay doesn't stick to it. But we don't like to glaze on it because the glaze gets into the canvas. So that's why it's a separate type of table. And then the glazing table has a smooth surface so it's easy to clean. And all of our glazes are beneath it in these big buckets. We have newspaper on the floor in between the table legs that you can lay down on the table, and then you can do your glazing on top of them so it's easier to clean up. Let's see, these shelves are all of the student shelving. When you get here for your class, your work is going to be on a shelf with your name on it, and then you'll get your clay, or you can use a community bag of clay, and you'll store that here too if you get your own bag. This lovely piece of equipment is our slab roller. So when you roll out a big slab of clay, you can build with it, and you'll cover that in your class. And it's definitely something that you'll use with the instruction of a teacher. And this table next to it is called a wedging table. When you're throwing on a potter's wheel, or when you have clay that you've already used and you want it back into a nice little ball, you wedge the clay. Then you do that on this table.
Can we do a separate video on that?
Yeah, we can do a separate video on wedging.
Awesome.
Totally. Okay, underneath the slab roller and the wedging table are plastic. There's different sizes of plastic, and they're like sort of sorted. So these are small pieces, medium, and then really large pieces. And then there's also this bag that sometimes people put grocery bags into, if that's what you're into. So these are all here so that you can help your clay dry slowly. So when you're done making something in your class and you don't want it to dry out, you put a little piece of plastic over it. So that's where these are. Rolling pins, for obvious reasons, and a trash can. So over here we do have some overflow shelving. So this rolling cart is a place where people can put work that won't fit on their shelves. Sometimes we have classes with young children and we put their work on here. So that's what these are. Same with this. These shelves are really nice because they'll help your work dry really fast. There's a lot of airflow around this shelf. The bottom is open. The sun is on it. This is a drying shelf.
Can you show me some of the tools?
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the wear boards. Is it okay if I go around in a loop?
Yep.
Okay. So when you're throwing on a potter's wheel, you use something called a bat. And it's so that you can take your work on and off of the potter's wheel. So this is a round bat. And this is a square bat, which are really nice for, saving space on your shelf. Everything else, when you're building like with your hands, goes onto one of these, and these are called wear boards, and we've got all different sizes. There's these tiny guys. These are the most popular ones, and then varied sizes down here. We like to keep a lot of wear boards together, but
Do people need to bring their own when they come?
no, you don't have to bring your wear board, but it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Sometimes things run out.
Okay.
So when you use a wear board and when you use anything in this studio at all, you want to make sure you wash it before you put it on. Okay, so this is our back door. If you ever come to this back door and it's locked, you can always go to the front door, or if you see somebody inside, you can press your face up against it and cry.
Let me in.
Let me in. But often it is locked, so you might need to go to the front. This is where we keep all snacks that people have brought. You can make a cup of coffee here. You can pull out a stool and sit if you need to think. Our tools live on these lower shelves and in the drawers. And in a separate video, we're going to go through all of these. But just know that if you're looking for a tool, It's probably here or around the other sink. Our sinks are here and there. There's these big buckets of goop in them. I will also touch on that during our cleanup video, but just know it's supposed to be there. Sponges, buckets, weird rolling pins, all of that stuff is gonna live around the sinks, okay? Here you'll find our mop sink, and mopping is very important. We're also gonna go over that in our cleaning video. If you come this way, you'll see a cart here, and when things are ready to be put in the kiln, this is where they go. There are two people that load the kilns here. That's myself and the studio coordinator, Nicole Fraley. And we will come and take things off of these shelves and bring them into the kiln room and load the kilns. The kiln room is here. You can look inside, which you may not enter yet. When your work has been fired, you'll come here to pick them up. So, this shelving unit is for things that have been bisqued. That means they've gone through the first firing. They're ready to be glazed. So that's all here. Generally, we at least sort them by color. This is brown clay, this is white clay, and if you're lucky, someone will have piled all your things together. This is glazed ware. This stuff has gone through the glaze kiln and is ready to eat out of, if that's what you're into. So this, this is ready for somebody to come pick it up. So when you come into class after you've put things to be fired, always come here and check for your stuff. If people don't pick up their things, then it gets crowded and it gets hard to find your stuff. This is children's work. All right, if you come around here, you're gonna find our reclaim area. We will also talk about this in the cleanup video, but when people have small scraps of clay that they don't want to use, they can bring them here to dry, and we reclaim them into new clay that can be used again. So most of the equipment that you see here is for that purpose. But we have underglazes and brushable glazes that live in this area. And then if you look at these shelves, we have bisque molds, which you'll learn about in your class. So a lot of our molds and stuff live here and down here. So that's what you'll be looking for if you come to this area.
Megan, I have a question. I heard somebody call this room the pug room. Why is that?
Well, this big piece of fancy equipment is called a pug mill. And the pug mill,
it says Peter Pugger. Look at that.
It's a Peter Pugger, yep. The pug mill churns the clay that we're reclaiming, and it does something called de-airing, which just means it vacuums out all the air. Wow. And then it pugs it out into little logs that we then bag up so that we can use it again.
Cool. Now we know why this is called the pug room.
Yep.
Never knew that.
A lot of big gross buckets full of slip and things like that that live over there. This table is always full of newspaper. Through this door, if you want an apron, this is where the aprons live.
Wonderful.
And if you want to hang up your coat, there's hooks here for that too. Did you know that?
No, did not know that. No, I've been sitting on my coat.
Didn't know that. There are also, if you come and look down, there are some other tools that can be used to slump your clay or make texture on things. And you can ask your teacher about using these things.
All right.
And all the way down in the basement is our clay. If you want to look, take a peek. This is a side door that you can exit out of, but it will lock behind you, and it should, and you should check it before you go. That's our clay.
Oh, okay.
So when you get a bag of clay, that is...
I want to zoom on it. There we go.
Yeah.
That's the clay. What kind of clay do we have here?
We have a white body of clay and a brown body of clay.
Cool.
And they're both supplied by Laguna.
Okay.
Which is out of Columbus. They're from Ohio.
Okay, cool. Are people allowed to bring their own clay?
No.
Okay, excellent. Good to know.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to see in the studio that we didn't cover yet?
Not really. This is the desk. The teachers really use this. But if you find a broken tool or you want to leave us a note, this is where.
Awesome. Well, thanks Megan. See you next time.